And thank you for joining me at FishEZ tonight. We're going to take a quick look at some of the fish, just as a brief overview, feeding and whatnot. Let's take a look right now, for example, at the rams. Let's see, we got some black rams here behind me. This is interesting that this week we have black rams in this tank they did lay some eggs, but just a few, and she stayed pretty plump. So the eggs did not work out. They didn't turn out to be anything viable. And I think that's because basically they're a young couple, super young. So this is their first batch. They laid some eggs, and you got to give them a little time. So I didn't worry about it that they disappeared. The eggs were really not cared for. I think the male didn't seem to pay much attention. She laid a few eggs. I think she may have not gotten his attention. He may be too young. So in number 2, we're looking at the penthouse tanks number 2. Hi, Sandy. Thank you for joining tonight. Sandy, looking forward to seeing you next week at the expo. And please look us up. That would be wonderful. This is pair number 2 right here in the penthouse tanks. I call them the penthouse tanks, PH2. Then this pair has not done anything yet, and I have put a guide here so that we could take a look at seeing how this would pan out, but it hasn't worked yet. Hi, Robert. Pair number 3, this is number 3 in the penthouse. Nothing yet, but every pair seems to be getting along just great. We seem to have picked out pairs that are very compatible. But turning around on the other side, it seems to be a little different story. Looking at penthouse number 5, I believe this pair has eggs right now. I haven't seen them, but I'll tell you how easy it is to check it out. Hold on a second, let me fix the camera. I have to bring the camera up and then slide it down. Okay, we'll do that. Now this pair, you see there's one shown, but the other one's nowhere to be seen. That's a dead giveaway that there may be another fish. Now sometimes they come out and come to the front of the glass because they think they're getting fed. Skidinona, how are you? And there she goes to the back. Let's see if the other one comes out. They trade places when they're actually watching over eggs. Somewhere in the back there might be something. Let's see what happens. I see 2 of them. You can see them in the reflection, right? Back here, there's a reflection in the glass, and they're both staring at the glass. They're probably looking at us, of course. But I think they must be on eggs in the back, behind the blind. That's my guess. I got a flashlight. Let me see, if, just out of curiosity, if I can see anything. There we go. It's kind of hard. My vision isn't that good. As you know, the glasses I have don't seem to ever work well. But yeah, I think there's definitely eggs in tank number 5. We're going to leave them in there. We're doing an experiment. We're going to leave the eggs with the parents. We're going to see which of these pairs can raise their own. Here in tank number 6, same thing. We've got interesting development because in this tank there's 2 small black rams from previous. They're not part of the pair. I got to remove those. But as you can see in the back, there is, you can barely see him. You see in the reflection, yeah. You can see he's also hovering over his plate, and the female's out front. So I'm pretty sure, and I also look, you can also tell, the way I do it is by looking to see if there's a breeding tube, and there is on this one. And they also get very aggressive towards their neighbors. So for example, here in this tank here is their neighbors. They can see through. I let them see each other so that they can have some sort of neighbors to be aggressive about. But this pair is out front, center. This is no. This is the pair that I believe. This is no. I don't know. This is the pair I think did have. Did they have eggs? Oh yeah, they did on 9/6. I write it down. Right there on 9/6 they laid eggs, but nothing happened. Again, it was a case where I think they were just too young. But we'll see. We'll see about the next time. I can pull the eggs at any given time, but I want to learn first which ones. And this is their first batch. Each one of these pairs is about the same age, and they're definitely gorgeous fish, but they will probably lay eggs, and the first time they won't be good parents. I'm not expecting them to be, but I want them to go through the motions. And then this other pair here, let's see, this is penthouse tank number 8. Oh, there he goes. He came out from behind there. I wonder if there's anything back there. Maybe not. They both come out and she didn't go zipping back. Oh, a little pleco is in there. Yeah, if they had something to protect, they wouldn't be up here at the front. So I'm not worried about tank 8. So pretty much we're looking at two batches of eggs currently in penthouse tanks 5 and 6. So what I'll need to do tonight is I'll need to put the date up here so I know when they lay. I think the idea is we want to see if they will raise their own. Also, these fry, I have the live foods in order to do it, and the water change system, we can regulate that and work with it here. But I just think it would be nice to see if I have better success if the parents raise them on their own. Okay. All right. So that's looking at the penthouse section. All these black rams going across and front and back. And we're doing pretty good. I wanted to point out something about our fish over here. These fish are somewhat okay. This one Odessa barb has a little rough spot on its forehead. I don't know why that is, but these were actual fish that were in the tank from Mr. Z. I took them from the upstairs. I'm just kind of letting them kind of rehabilitate. I want them to. They were in just a small 5-gallon, and now they're in a 10-gallon. They can kind of get a little more space. Over here, though, good news is our Sexaphaciatus West Africans. The female finally showed up. She was hiding for the longest time, and he was attacking her, but they're now back out together. Here they come. Look, the two of them. She does her little thing. Now they're both kind of over there. It's kind of a hidden. The leaves in this place are trying to drop the pH. Also, it allows for hiding places, lots of hiding places, and spawning sites, etc. And then as the decaying leaves start to form, we've got possible pH drop. So that's the key with these particular fish. I understand they say when they do spawn, they will only do so in lower pH. So we'll just kind of let that gradually drop to a point and see what we get. But they love the live foods. They get a lot of live foods. They get Daphnia, they get grindle worms, they get baby brine shrimp. Yeah. Now, interestingly enough, these guys down here, the Crabensis or Teniatus, there's the male back there. I see him, but I can't focus on him. Let's see. Can we focus in the back? No. Too many things on the front glass. I write down the medications I've been giving them because one day I found them here in the front. The male and the female were just clamped fins, both of them, and I didn't know why. So I thought it would be nice to find out why. So I started with a little bit of Pimafix, and I didn't want to lose them. But within 24, 48 hours, they were like back to normal. So I don't know what it was, but whatever it was that caused this clamped fins, it could have been serious. So I was a little concerned. I only have this one pair, and I didn't want to lose them. But right now they're kind of hiding. Oh, there's the female too. She's also back there. They're both back there in this. I don't know if I can. I can't zoom in. Let me see. I could throw some food in there to see if they come out if I play with the front. Sometimes I play with the front up here and they come zipping up. Nothing, huh? Well, I can always try this trick. We got a Daphnia net, basically a brine shrimp net. And then we've got plenty of Daphnia. This is the smaller Daphnia. Swivel around some Daphnia. Let's see what we got there. You can see it picked up quite a bit. It's very small, but it's concentrated now. We'll get it to come out because this is one real gorgeous pair, really. When I do this, I don't know if she sees the net. Okay, here they come. Here they come. They're camera shy. They see this camera, they go crazy. Okay, dip the net in both tanks. There's the male. It's a gorgeous fish, really. Where's the female? There she is. She's in there. If I'd stop moving, maybe she'd come out, huh? But no problems with the fins anymore. Whoops, see, I hit the camera against the glass and she darted away. They're kind of a shy species. Here she's gonna come back. She's on her way back. We're playing with the water parameters here too. I would like to soften it up and drop the pH. Maybe have a successful spawn with these two. These would be really nice. Yeah, I don't know why they're in the back there. I can see them. They're out of focus, but yeah, I can see them. Let's give them a few minutes and see if they come out. So this is basically what I've been doing is feeding these live foods and also just waiting for them to, twice a day I feed them live foods. I wanted to also mention the Daphnia I have over here. I'm having such a great success growing the Magna here in the jars. I don't know if you can see that. I mean, it's just amazing. Let me turn on some light here directly onto them. I have this. You'll be able to see. Look at the Daphnia in that thing. And I just took out half the Daphnia yesterday and put it in another jar to start to see if it would be just as good. So this is from yesterday. I just pulled it out. This is our one little Daniel. See it? He's doing okay by himself. But these guys, I don't want them to crash. So I will feed them half of this Daphnia. I'll feed it to the fish, throw it in the breeder tanks, give them some Daphnia, and then fill it back up with green water. And then I add a little bit of its yeast. So I wanted to talk about something tonight. It's going to be a short live stream because I have a lot to get ready for the expo and a big day tomorrow, so don't have a lot of time. But over the past week, I have been collecting together my different types of powdered foods that I also use. As you know, I use a lot of live foods, but I also augment that with these. Now, this is Sarah Microfood. This is the Micro by Sarah, and it's green because I think it has a lot of, this would have a lot of the spirulina. All these are high protein, like 45% to 60%. And this is the same, and this is a different container, but it's the same as this, I believe. Yes, those are the same. This is something that I got at the store. These are called reefroids. Reefroids is basically coral food. It's very high in protein. Coral food. So it's made from rotifers, a small organism that is grown in the saltwater world for the purpose of cultured in saltwater tanks for like breeding clownfish and the like. So these rotifers are then put into a dry powder form, and there's also some other additives, I guess. But this is also a great food. It's just a little on the expensive side, as you would expect from something made for the saltwater. This is golden pearls. Somebody on this particular chat group last week mentioned the golden pearls in, maybe it was a replay comment, and they said, what about golden pearls? We were talking about the different things I use, and I have some, so I thought I'd get it out and start using it because I said, you know, I forget sometimes what I have. This, by the way, is Dr. Beslier. He also has put together a very fine powdered food in micro, but it looks like it's a little bit bigger than the micro powder of Sarah. Looks like a little bit bigger. Gotta be watchful. And of course, this is decapsulated brine shrimp. So this is probably the largest food of these guys. And you can see up at the edge, kind of like get a better grip on the size. So this is decapsulated brine shrimp. Okay. So out of these, my go-to is going to be the Micro Sarah and the reefroids. And then initially, then work on providing some golden pearls, and then the Dr. Baselier, and then the brine shrimp if necessary. But by this point, they're already eating the live baby brine. So this would be a case when I needed some, keep this handy for if I wanted to feed some brine shrimp to the fish when they weren't actually, I didn't have any baby brine shrimp live. Our babies are growing nice. This is a grow out tank for those that, the blue-eyed rainbow fish, the Luminatus, and they really grow well in this tank. It's a very tall tank and very narrow. It really was a sump pump. This was, not a sump pump, it was a sump. And somebody was using it for the sump underneath their big tank, but then they sold this at an auction. I picked it up, and it's quite narrow. It's great for this shelf. It just fits this particular location perfectly. I got two of them, and as you can see, the one below is doing the greatest production of these plecos. I'm extremely pleased with these plecos, and the reason I'm pleased with them is because the death rate on this particular batch has been very low. The previous couple batches, they almost completely died out, and I don't know why. They would just be on the bottom, a couple dead every day. With this one, I've lost probably 2 or 3, maybe 4 max, and the rest are just growing. So I don't want to touch anything. I don't want to move them. I don't want to do anything because they're so happy here. So I'll just keep feeding them the baby brine shrimp here, and I might try starting. It wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe put them on a Dr. Vassilier to kind of start giving them taste. They're probably big enough to eat the regular pellets, but I'll start them with the small and see if they eat it. That would be good. And that's what I have. There's a good number in here, tons. So that's a good item, good item to have. So now, that's basically what's been going on around here. Not much else. I mean, really. Let me hold on one second. While you're looking at the sunset, these are the sunsets, which are looking super nice, by the way. Fix the camera. Yeah, the sunsets. I put them through a deworming treatment. They're still really in quarantine. They'll be in quarantine for at least 6 months. But they're growing, show zero sign of any malady. They're really super nice. A little nervous of a camera. I can tell you they're camera shy. Maybe they're just not used to the camera. I don't know. They think this big black thing is going to get them, huh? Maybe these guys are a little more used to the camera. They're looking nice. They're not jumpy. Oh, by the way, I've removed all the Maculapinis that used to be here, and last week I removed them. The reason I removed them is because I'm going to sell them at the expo. So they're big and nice and gorgeous. So I brought over another 16 Maculapinis from a later batch, the younger ones, and I threw them in here to grow out. Meanwhile, we've got a couple of pairs of discus. There's one at each end of the tank, a male and a female that's bonding over here, and then there's another pair is bonding at the other end. That male is always, this male right here, he's always at that end of the tank table. So that's just nice to see. I just don't want to pull them out yet. I want to see them, grow a little bit and be in a community for a while. We don't really have the breeding tanks set up ready to go for them anyway, and they're too young to start breeding, because what we found is we got some pairs, we put them into a tank, and then they don't do anything in that tank. And why do they not do anything? It's fairly possible that these particular fish, they're just not, maybe they're not old enough, but they're bonding, but they're not really old enough to be in the production section. In other words, they're not really ready to do, they're like, to me, like teenagers, yeah, teenagers like to pair off. They like to experiment, but in essence, they're a teenager who's, 15 to 20 in human life, may be able to produce children, and they might think that they're ready for a mature relationship, but really they're not mature enough to handle the responsibilities, so of parenthood and so forth. That's why these, I think, are like juveniles, and they're just not quite adults, but they're definitely, I've already had some spawns on the wall. We've had a couple of them already start to produce, so, but I'll just give them a little time. There's no rush. A pair of discus that are properly paired off and breeding will be good for a long time, right? Well, that's basically all I have right now for tonight to show off the weekly activities. There hasn't been much more than that. Let's see. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody at the expo. So, hi everyone. We're going to be at the expo next Saturday and Sunday. And the expo is going to feature a lot of these fish that might be available now at the expo for you people who can make it to Mississauga. It's the Greater Toronto area. And we're going to have a lot of the fish you saw, the mackerel pinnas. We're going to have a lot of angels, platinum angels, like the one on the icon of this particular video, and we'll have everything from the lucipinnas to, we're going to have rams, German blue rams, and there will be also black rams for sale. And then we'll also have probably a number of discus. They're going to make it. So as a team, we're going to set up on Friday, but there's a lot of work to do to set up around 30 tanks, and we'll have 30 tanks to choose from, and it will be exciting because we're going to be right there amongst all the other businesses selling products. Bobby G's is going to be there, and Fluval will be there. There's a lot of people. But the Canadian Aquatic Expo will be going on for these 2 days. It will be bigger than last year, and there will be great talks. Chris Biggs will be there, the chairman for a number of guest speakers, and it's going to be going on all day. So you can get a ticket, go through the koac.ca website, which I set up, and you can get your discount 15% off if you buy them online, the tickets. Also, there may be a giveaway, either here with me or with Aqua Malik, and we're going to give away some free tickets probably prior to that this week. We'll have to figure out a time it would be good to do that. But they're roughly $20 plus a little bit more, and tax and so forth, and that's how much you get for the entire day. You can go Saturday or Sunday. And now the KOAC show is going to have a fish show, and I'm going to enter one fish. I'm going to enter one fish. It will be a cichlid, and you have seen it on this channel, so we're going to see how well it does in the show. I'm excited to see about that. And also, there's going to be a guppy show and the betta show that's put on by the clubs, and they're going to also be there at the KOAC convention going on the same weekend. So I really admonish everyone to make it if you can, just to see the activities and to be there. So if you want to know more about it, I can't remember, it's CanadianAquaticExpo.ca. I do know if you go to the koac.ca website, it has, start there and then go to the Canadian Aquatic Expo from the links on that page, because you'll want to see first what the KOAC organization. Now, what is KOAC? I say it as if it's just something everybody knows, but maybe you don't. Canadian Aquarium It's the Canadian Association of Aquarium Clubs. There we go. Gotta get it right. CAOAC. So everybody just says KOAC. The Canadian Association of Aquarium Clubs is like a group or organization that pretty much, it doesn't police or govern over other aquarium clubs, but it helps and assists with getting insurance and so forth. It's an organization specifically designed to assist aquarium clubs and throughout Canada. And so it has a place, and most all aquarium clubs in this country do assist or do participate under KOAC. And the dues are very cheap for the club to join. And you know what? It's funny. I'm standing here looking at the discus, and I think they're trying to spawn or do something right now. Let's take a look. Right over here, I noticed this pair. We were looking at this pair right there at the end. They're going up to the. See, they're going up to the. I don't know. My coming over here, they probably go away. Yeah, She was going right up against the wall, picking at it. That's a sure sign she's ready to do something. The male is pretty obvious. He's got these long trailers on his fins. This particular variety of discus get those trailers, which I like. I kind of think it's kind of neat, you know. Yeah, see, I move my hand over here and they just come over. These are too friendly, these guys. Always feeding out of my, I'm always feeding them out of my hand. So, yeah. Yeah, that's what's going on. So it's kind of hard to actually get some observations going. So I hope I explained that. Oh, sorry about that. Hold on. I hope I explained that well enough for the Canadian Association of Aquarium Clubs. And I'll be there assisting and doing things and going to some of the KOAC meetings. Also be there to help sell the fish. I'm definitely there Friday to set up, which is the day before it opens, and you can get in on Saturday and Sunday and you can meet us. We'll also do a live stream. I'm sure I can do a quick live stream on this channel while at the exposition, and I will do that best I can. We will have maybe not the strongest Wi-Fi, or we won't have Wi-Fi at all. We'll just try to use the phone. So hopefully we'll test that out. If it's possible, then we'll be live streaming from there. And then we can see all the activity going on. And I appreciate everybody being patient. It's just a busy, hectic time. And for example, today was running around looking at the pump. How are we going to get air to the tanks that we bring over there? What pump are we going to use? Having backups on everything, getting the right little supplies you need to bring over. There's so much involved, there's so much to think about. It's like setting up a little fish room on spur of the moment, like within 1 day. Fortunately, we just have open space, we have the racks. It's just going to take, well, right now, okay, you got the racks, but do you have the boards that go on the racks? No. Oh, you got to get those ready, you got to get them cut. Yesterday, we spent hours just cutting lids for all the tanks. Some of the tanks are new, some of the tanks are tanks we have, but they didn't have lids. But you got to have a lid if you're at the expo, kind of a requirement, and you don't want fish flipping out, jumping out, and so that's important. So that's it for tonight. I didn't see any questions. I really appreciate the 15 thumbs ups, and why I don't see any comments. I wonder if somehow the comments got turned off, because I saw comments earlier, but I can't bring them up now. Maybe that's why there's no comments. Something messed up tonight. I think I'm still live though, because it says I'm live. I can't answer comments, I guess, or questions. No comments, huh? Let me see. There's a comment button here. Top chat. Live chat. All messages are visible. Oh! I must have touched the button. There's a button here with comments. Okay, I didn't realize. Now that I turned on the comments, I can see them. Jeff is with us. Wow, I've been talking away. Big Hank Tank. And hi, everyone. Thank you so much. Did you show the fish last week? I don't know. Wow, okay. All these comments, I didn't see them coming in. I'm very sorry about that. There's a button here. I didn't know that if you click it, the comment or goes away. Lots of comments. Thank you for talking, and wow, a lot about garlic. I do feed a garlic pellet. It's actually a garlic food by Dr. Baslier that has garlic infused, and they recommend that you feed the fish the garlic food for 1 week, and that it stimulates the immune system and so forth. I don't know if it's necessary to do it all the time. Yeah, medium size Baslier. Well, the medium is actually large for me, and I feed it to the larger fish, And then the small is the perfect size for all the fish, especially the young ones growing up. The one I was showing you is the micro, very small. And yeah, wow, great comments. Thank you so much. Yeah, I wish you could come to the expo too, Jeff. That would be awesome. But I know you went to Cataclysm, and I know you went and was able to chat with Tom. That was kind of neat. I wished I was part of that conversation too. One day I'll go to that. It just hasn't happened. I think it'll happen probably one day after I retire from work. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting setup at the least. I don't know how amazing it will be because it's our first time, and there's always the first time. It's like any fish room. You set it up for the first time, and then that's how you know what you really want. You know, you put everything together and you say, okay, I thought I planned it out perfectly, but then you're always tweaking it and you realize that, okay, it wasn't, okay, when you actually have the working model and you're actually doing something, that's when things change, right? Yeah. Oh, Jeff. Haha. Thank you for the super chat. Wow, that's awesome, man. I wasn't really expecting a lot of feedback tonight, but I guess it was because it was going to have to be a short. It's just that I'm so short on time. I have to get up early, and I may as well tell you the exciting news about tomorrow, because tomorrow I will be in London, that is London, Ontario, and that's not too far from where I'll be picking up some new plecos. And well, new for me. They're going to be an addition to my 134s, and we're going to get what we feel are going to be females, and more females, because right now I don't have sufficient number of females. I think I have mostly males. So a little swapperoo, and we're going to try to get some different fish. Now that's a great option for me. It's going to be probably an hour extra driving, because it's not in London. I'll be in London, but I'm using the opportunity of driving all the way to London, which is a 2-hour drive, and then going another hour to St. Thomas and picking up some of these fish. So that's the goal anyway. So I don't know if maybe I'll film it for the members, the fish I get in tomorrow night. It'd be very late, but I'll film it and then post for the members on next week or in subsequent days. That will be the goal anyway. We'll see how that works. So that's exciting news. I will also be picking up some super reds for the expo from our supplier. I say our supplier because there's a breeder out there pumping them out big time, and they're a hot item here in the GTA. So that is a problem. I saw a nice, interesting comment that somebody made on the YouTube, and there was okay, thank you, Sandy. Cambridge, huh? Yeah, when I go by Cambridge, I will toot my horn and say, Sandy, Cambridge, okay. But there was an interesting comment, and I don't remember if it was you, Sandy, or it was Sandy Diamond, or who it was. But she was saying, wouldn't it be nice if, people could trade fish amongst those who have it in some areas, and whereas it's more scanty or scarce in other areas. And in that way, it gets it more even distribution. Great idea. But that's kind of like what we're doing, because we have a breeder friend out in St. Thomas, but it's like 3-hour drive away, so it's not just an easy jaunt. And when the opportunity happens, we come and trade fish, and I can give him fish in St. Thomas, and then they can supply some of the stores around in their area. So by that, take some of the fish we have a lot of and share them with those that maybe can spread them out over there. That's something we've been working out. So it works fine that way because we're able to let go of large numbers of fish and then still make some money because we can offer large quantities on cheaper basis, and then by the same token we get the fish back that we can sell here, and we can also turn a little bit of money on. But the most important thing is not the money, it's the distribution of the fish, so that it's the opportunity to have the fish available. And I feel very sad. I hate going into a local fish shop and see empty tanks, or I see tanks of very low, inferior quality fish, and I hate seeing that because it's like a waste of tank space, and it's just kind of sad, But something to think about. It was a great comment. I thought I would share it with you all. And let's see what else. This week, stay tuned. Watch for a posting. I'll post a community post for when we're going to have the ticket giveaway. And we'll do a quick live stream and give away some tickets. So if you're interested in coming, or maybe you weren't thinking about coming, but maybe you'll win some tickets. So it's going to be quite a deal. Thank you all very much for joining, and of course Jeff for your super chat, and everybody else. It's great to be here tonight, but it's also exhausting to be thinking about this expo and setting up 30 tanks in one day. And then of course that means moving the fish, setting up the water, the parameters have to be right, moving the fish, making sure none go into shock. It's going to be tricky, but there is a method that we intend on using, and that is what we'll do is we'll have the water on the night before ready in the barrel, and then we will bring over, what we're going to do is we're going to take an actual tank water that the fish are in the bucket, use that water, put it into the tank, and then just refill. It'd be like getting a water change on the water that is new. And we're going to take and we'll be sure to take care of the fish by not just like you would ship them across the country for 2 days in the mail system. We're going to make sure that they're not fed the night before. They're going to be fasting, and that will prevent them from, during the expo, from fouling the water and causing an issue, especially when you have a number of fish in a tank and it was a change in the parameters. There's not the biological filtration. It's like being in a bag. So that's what we'll do is we'll watch the feeding, and then of course the new owners, whoever gets the fish, can take them home and let them eat. And it's something you got to teach the people, train people how to understand their fish. For example, on discus, I have found that when I move a discus from one tank to another, they don't eat right away. And I've had a fish here that didn't eat for a month. Couldn't get her to eat. She wouldn't eat. But you know what? It wasn't that. How many Lucy's do you want, Sandy? You know what? I'll be honest with you. The way we're going to handle it, and only we can do this because we are so close to the expo. So if we sell out of something, it will only be an hour before somebody says, okay, we need this, this, and this, and in with less than an hour, they'll be to the fish house and back with new stock and replenish the supplies. So yeah, we will have some Lucy's for you, that's for sure. And of course, you get your membership discount. So there's no question about that. Anybody who can show us or identify them as one of our members, and we'll get an automatic discount. So that's true. With it's what we can do to help share and appreciate all that you've done for us. Thank you so much, Sandy, Jeff, and everybody. So we're going to call it a night. Thank you so much for joining us, and thanks again for everything. And stay tuned. We'll be back. We're going to be right back into the swing of things after the expo, but we'll have a lot to talk about too. It's how it went, what were the lessons learned. It's going to be interesting. So, because we don't own a storefront, right? We're not a storefront. We're a wholesaler, right? We breed fish and we find homes for them at fish shops. And this is our only opportunity. It's actually the bigger opportunity is to get to see and meet other people who are in the business and let them get to know who we are and to see our fish. And then we might be able to give them our wholesale list and say, this is, you buy in quantity, this is what you get. But we don't have a store, so people will come up and we're going to have special cards. I don't have a sample yet to show you, but we'll have a special card. And this card will be designed for anybody who says, oh, you know, how can I get some fish from you? Well, here's our website. So the information's there at the website. If you go to aquarium.biz, B-I-Z, not .com, .biz, B-I-Z, /list, L-I-S-T, if you go to that link, you will see our list. That's aquarium.biz/list. And that will give you a list of our fish, and enjoy looking down the list and see what we have as regular items, and we'll see you there. Thank you so much, and have a great night, everyone. Good night.